At magandang gabi sa ating online audience. Nasa loob tayo ng Smart Araneta Coliseum for PBA Tuesday. And it's going to be Marcus Blakely and the rest of the Purefoods star hotshots. At katapat po nila ang Alaska Aces. You know, Alaska hoping to bounce back from that surely painful loss in the Philippine Cup Finals. And these two teams are at the crossroads. Okay. Magandang gabi, Miko Alili with the Emperor of Eloquence and the Paragon of Persistence, the man who talks too much, Coach Ryan Gregorio. Oh, bakit?
Ayaw mo na eh.
Hindi.
Magandang gabi sa'yo, Miko, at magandang gabi sa atin mga manonood. It's a very good matchup that we have here. Of course, a battle of the past two Commissioner's Cup champions, Alaska 2013 and Purefoods 2014.
Okay, you know, Alaska, palagi ko napakasakit. Ano? You're so close to winning a championship. And, you know, Alex Compton, the coach, realizes that. And all the other players realize that there's that possible last-second shot. But not enough for the Alaska Aces. But just the same, you know, Coach Ryan, maraming humanga dito sa Alaska because of the effort that they showed in the Philippine Cup Finals.
Well, it was definitely a fantastic run for Alaska. It was not just one win away dahil it was actually one possession away. Yeah. They could have turned things around. They were down by a huge deficit in the first half, as big as 23 points. But inside 6 minutes, they were, in fact, on top by 6 points. But after that Arwin Santos three-point shot, it was all downhill for Alaska. But they really can't look back. Every time that you look back, you will not be able to move forward. For Alaska, past is past. They want to focus on the Commissioner's Cup right now.
Okay, pag-uusapan natin si Calvin. And on that note, you know, gusto ko rin malaman, yung nagawa nila sa Philippine Cup, yung nagawa ni Calvin sa Philippine Cup, is that something na pwede mong dalhin? Is there some sort of momentum na pwede mong ipaon into this tournament?
Well, definitely the best numbers for Calvin Abueva, 16.3 points, 11.4 rebounds. The answer is yes, Miko, and the reason for that is they actually invest on their defense. And when you talk about defense day in, day out, there is no off night. So expect Alaska once again to be dictated. Their performance will definitely rely on the kind of defense, not just half-court defense, but full-court defense that they are now known for.
So, I think a lot of people titignan to Alaska and alam na, oh, itong Alaska, you know, parang gutom na gutom tong team na to kasi hindi sila nanalo ng Philippine Cup. You can imagine gaano kagutom ang Purefoods. Hindi umabot ng finals, certainly falling short sa kanilang mga goals in the Philippine Cup, and it's a Grand Slam team that wants to get back on top.
They actually started on the right foot. They defeated Global Port 83-70. But was it really a bad conference for Coach Tim Cohn? The answer is yes. But right now, they're all motivated. I think the hunger is back. And why did we say that? They've won prior to that conference 4 straight championships. At mukhang kinailangan na rin magpahinga ng kanyang mga manlalaro last conference.
And that is the practical view, the practical approach. Siyempre, papagod din yung mga tao.
Yes.
Hindi naman robot yung mga tao yung mga yan. Okay, we'll take a short break. Pagbalik namin, we'll bring you the start of Purefoods against Alaska. Isang magandang gabi and welcome to the championship capital of Philippine basketball, the Smart Araneta Coliseum, kung saan magharap sila Marcus Blakely and the rest of the Purefoods star hotshots. And they'll be matched up against DJ Covington, the import of the Alaska Aces. These are two teams that, you know, gutom to prove to people that, you know, they belong on top. That's why they probably are at a crossroads. Miko Alili here, working alongside a man who refuses to go on Twitter because sabi niya, 140 characters are simply not enough. Coach Ryan Gregorio.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Miko, at magandang gabi sa ating mga manonood. Very interesting matchup right now, of course, a battle of the last two Commissioner's Cup champions, Alaska winning in 2013, and the defending champions, Purefoods, with James Mace before, but now with Marcus Blakely trying to protect their championship.
And we'll go into the other stories, no? Not just na nangyayari on the court but off the court. Of course, Coach Jeffrey Carriazo departing Ginebra and then coming home to the Alaska Aces. And Jeff quoted here saying that pinili niya Alaska. He said that Alaska has always been a home for him. That's where he started his career, and his career coming full circle here as he goes back to the Aces.
Well, a dizzying coaching career actually for Coach Jeffrey Carriazo. Of course, he started his playing career with Alaska, but he started coaching with the San Miguel organization. He was an assistant coach of Team Cone and went to Ginebra, and now making full circle back to the Alaska fold.
Okay, punta natin si Cel Guevara.
All right, and then yun nga, a familiar face from Alaska is making a return, and Coach Jeff Carriazo couldn't be any happier that he is back where he came from. Although gusto man daw niyang magtagal pa sa Ginebra, the unfortunate situation was still a blessing because it led him back to his roots, and facing the Purefoods team, a team that is coached by his mentor Tim Cone, is something very excited for Jeff Carriazo. Balik sa inyo, Miko.
Actually, kakwentuhan namin si Jeff kagabi sa The Pro Show sa sports5.ph. At nag-open up siya. Sabi niya, he would have wanted to spend more time sana with the team. Sabi niya, yun sana yung kailangan na Ginebra. More time to put in that system so the players will familiarize themselves with the system that they're running. But unfortunately, he said he wasn't given that time.
Well, some things are really beyond your control with Ginebra. A lot of people are really impatient. He was still over 500 in terms of win-loss mark, winning 11 and losing a win in 12 and losing 11. But Jeff is such a positive person. He's looking at it as a huge blessing in disguise. And now, once again, he will be part of the coaching staff of Coach Alex Compton.
At kinakausap niya si DJ Covington. So this will be a game wherein pag-aaralan natin, titingnan natin what Covington can do for the Aces.
Well, not really known to be a huge scorer, but one of the reasons why he's here is because he comes in highly recommended by former Alaska import Sean Chambers. So he's expected to be a rim protector, a defensive specialist, a hustle man, and of course, a team player both on offense and on defense.
Napakalupit naman na recommendation. Sean Chambers ang nagbigay ng recommendation letter.
Hindi mo na nga i-validate yun.
Hindi na.
Di ba?
Head coach for the Aces is Alex Compton. Game officials are Edward Aquino, Drew Lopez, and Nasana. We also referee the tournament ball is brought to us.
Kung pagbabasihan natin yung statistics ni Covington, I think I was in Belgium. It gives you a glimpse that this guy must be an energy guy. Does the dirty work, I would suppose. I don't think he's a guy who is out there trying to make highlight plays and dunking in people's faces. He might not be that guy.
Only 4.8 points per game in his first international experience in Belgium, and 4 or 3.9 rebounds. But what Alaska needs really is to be the last line on defense, especially because of their defense. That is the vaunted Alaska trap, which is not really just half-court in nature, pero full-court eh. Kaya tama ka. Depensa itong nasa calling card with DJ Covington.
So the game is underway. Alaska starts the opening quarter with Tony De La Cruz, Eric Menk, who overshoots. DJ Covington fighting for the rebound. And RJ Azul and Cyrus Baguio completing their starting unit. For Purefoods, Alex Malyari, Mark Baroga, James Yap, Marcus Blakely, and Mark Pincus. Purefoods in their blue uniforms. But you change
Yes.
And Alaska in their immaculate white uniforms. Malyari to James Yap. Hand off, Baroka from the corner. Ingris against Eric Menk. And Mark Baroka belongs to that breed of point guards na alam yung gagawin when they're under the basket. Most of the time point guards when they're under the basket, medyo out of sorts, but not Mark Baroka.
And he does a good job moving without the ball. Yun ang asset talaga ni Mark Baroka. He can operate with his the ball in his hands. And yun, nakita natin, he was able to get that basket dun sa underneath.
Missed by Malyari. Here comes Azul. swipe by Marcus Blakely over to James Yap. James on the move all the way.
That was actually initiated by that steal of Marcus Blakely. Yun ang gusto ni Coach Tim Con and also the players from Purefoods. Alam na nila kung ano may expect nila kay Blakely. Usually for other imports, they will just go all the way. But Blakely is unselfish enough to dish out that assist pass.
First 2 points for DJ Covington. Now, just in case nagtataka kayo, you're looking at the starting unit here. Asan si Santos? Asan si JV Casio? Those two gentlemen are not in uniform. We're right behind the Alaska bench and will not play tonight and actually will not play for some time. So, they're recuperating from injuries sustained in the previous tournament. And then James Yap will take 2.
James really does a good job selling fouls. Yung nakita natin. Sumabay sa pagtalon si De La Cruz at natawagan ng kanyang pangunang foul. 9 points against Global Port. Itong si James Yap. No longer the kind of explosive scorer that he once was, but still very effective. And pagdating sa playoffs, doon talaga tumitikada ng gusto si Big Game James. Pero last conference, hindi sila umabot eh. They were only good up to the quarterfinals.
Siguro, baka nilagnat itong mga Purefoods players. Hindi sanay na maaga ang baksyon.
Pero on the other hand naman, at least nakapagpasko sila. Kasi usually, hindi umaabot. Di ba? Hindi nakakapag-celebrate eh.
Hindi nga sanay magpahinga eh. As Covington overshoots Blakely over to Baroka. Baroka, looks at Malyari to James Yap. Still in the early moments of the opening quarter. Big risk, 15-foot line outside Malyari. Shot knocked down to 9. Malyari for 3 off the glass. 3-point shot brought to you by PBA, the hotel pad, Landline plus home DSL. West Tablet.
After he made that shot, he nonchalantly run back. So I think he called that one.
No, nobody calls a babanda.
At the top of
Wala, top of the... Ikaw ba nakakita na pagpitaw eh? Banda yan. Embarrassing ka mo, wala.
Wala, pero maganda kasi nilalaro nito, especially against Global Port. He exploded with 10 points. He only averaged a little over 5 points per game last conference, pero mukhang nagkaroon ng magandang training during the off-season itong si Alex Malyari.
Inspired. Inspired kasi may chance ulit ng Purefoods na fight again for a possible championship.
And the hunger is back.
The hunger is back. Baka may ibang pinapahiwati ka na dito.
Ikaw nga, nagulat na ako sa'yo.
Ikaw yung tumitingin sa akin. Shot knockdown 4. Blakely for 3. There's Malyari. He kept that ball alive. And he's fighting for that leather. And a new shot clock here for Purefoods. Baroka to Big Risk. Big Risk one-hander. No. Blakely. Wow, how many times Purefoods getting a chance to score in that
Definitely controlling the offensive rebound. And then Marcus Blakely, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. He is the shortest import among the present crop, only standing at 6'5", but he had 19 rebounds in the game against Global Port.
Let's go to Sel.
Sabi ni Sonny Toss, finally, I get to rest para gumaling na ang kanyang plantar fasciitis o foot arch injury that affected his games last conference after a PRP procedure. Toss will rest for 2 weeks pero indefinite pa rin kung kailan siya makakalaro. Ito naman din si JV Casio na kanyang katabi dyan sa mga benches ng Alaska will also be out for 2 weeks due to a forearm injury ng kanyang shooting hand. Balik sa inyo.
They are recuperating from the bumps and bruises from the previous tournament.
They had actually the most number of games last conference. At ang magandang pinapakita nitong Alaska, actually tuloy-tuloy pa sana yung naasahan nila. Pero yung nakakabilib dahil the kind of defense that they play from the opening game up to the game 7, hindi nagbago yung kanilang energy.
And that's why people admire how the Aces play. in the final. But in this opening quarter,
Very flat.
maybe not so
start
much.
yun eh. Oo.
Here's Tony De La Cruz. Rebound for Malyari.
But you cannot count out this Alaska team. They were down the huge deficit against San Miguel. 21, 22, Game 7,
26
23.
pa.
Oo. Pero nakakabalik eh. Masyadong malami at tingnan mo si Coach Tim Cone. Hindi naman nagpapatik. Parang been there, done that. They're down by 12 points and still not opting to call a timeout.
Almost halfway done here in the opening quarter. Nothing going right for the Alaska Aces. And so, as you look at this play, Mark Baroka with a runner. Red hot start for Purefoods. So because medyo mabagal yung simula ng Alaska, they bring in the beast. Let's have some fun.
Just to change the tempo, and of course, they need an energy guy right now. They lack it in the first 6 minutes of action.
They brought in the perfect guy to provide energy. That's Calvin Abueva. And a steal there for Baguio. Cross court to RJ Azul. Inside, Eric was pushed by Mark Pingris.
Foul number 15, Mark Pingris. That's his
First personal laban kay Mark Pingris, and the second team foul against Purefoods. Baguio. Menk, top of the key. And they left him open, and he makes the pay.
It was given that shot. Blakely was like one car away from Meg. Kaya tinirahan siya ni Eric.
Eric doing the right
Usually
thing.
kasi one arm length lang eh. Sa sobrang layo, isang kotse.
Meantime, James Yap to Blakely on the right side. He's crossed the halfway mark of the opening quarter. James Yap for three. It's Pingris who gets the ball. Second chance opportunities for Purefoods.
Already 4 offensive rebounds here for Purefoods, and the rebounding department is being dominated by Purefoods thus far.
Tamat muna tayo. Magbabalik na kami. Well, you want someone who plays bigger than his size? Marcus Blakely is an exceptional example of a player who does not know his height.
They're supposed to play in the third conference dahil allowed ang Purefoods no more than 6'9". But 26 points, he might be shortest import here. But just like what Coach Tim Cone said, he's like 6'9" in terms of rebounding. This in Webber rebounds ang kanyang nakuha, 26 points. So, smallest but definitely gave up enormous numbers for their first win.
Balik tayo kay Sel.
Aminado itong si Marcus Blakely that he does not know how long he will stay with Purefoods. Sa katunayan, kararating lang ng kanilang first choice import na si Daniel Orton dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya naman itong si Marcus, he is doing his best to set the momentum of the team for the whole conference. At laging sinistress daw sa ensayo that they should have a good start. And even if Blakely is gonna be facing bigger imports, ang sabi niya, napatunayan niya na height is not a factor. But it's
Ayun si Daniel Orton, the supposed first choice import of Purefoods because siya yung mas malaki. But I think Blakely about coming in, it was made clear to him the situation. That's the life of a pro.
And this is a resident import of Coach Tim Cone. At for sure, kung wala naman siyang prior commitment in the third conference, he will come back and don the Purefoods jersey once again. But crucial itong first 2 games, it's just a one-round robin format in the elimination round. They must pile as many wins as possible. Nakaisa na sila at umaasa makapangalawa. At the rate things are going, lamang sila ng 12 points sa unang yugto.
And if you're Coach Tim, masayang-masaya ka because you're not playing with your first choice import, you're playing with a short import. Again, nasusunod pa rin yung gusto nyo.
Totoo yan. At para naman dito kay Daniel Orton, he's getting a glimpse of what the PBA is all about. This will be his first overseas trip in Southeast Asia. Maganda itong credentials ni Orton. He was drafted in the NBA by Orlando. I think he was also a member of Oklahoma. I watched him in the D-League. At ngayon, he's here enjoying the game. Pero sooner than later, makikita na rin natin maglaro yan.
There's Calvin Bueva who will try to energize a moribund Alaska team dito sa opening quarter. Joe Vance joins Big Chris, Barroca, Blakely, and James Yap. Here's James against Don Tiveros. Double team on James. JDV no look, no success. Turnover. Wait a minute.
He stepped on the baseline.
Oh,
but
tough break, huh?
Yes, nakuha niya na yung steal doon. Pero masyado kasi malaki yung paa niya eh. Kung mga size 11 lang yan, hindi tatama eh.
Yung paa ko.
Kaya lang size 13 eh.
Kahit pagsama pa yung paa natin.
Dalawa eh.
4 minutes and 10 remaining in the opening quarter. Ingris against Vic Manuel. And then here's JDV. Very early, Covington has showed the willingness to grab every rebound inside.
Yun talaga yung kanyang strength eh. Pero nakascore na rin naman siya, pero 2 puntos pa lamang para sa kanya.
Covington, one-hander, rebound, Barroca. Oh, I am personally anticipating the matchup between Barroca and Eximiniano.
Oo.
Palagay ko walang makapagbaba ng bola sa dalawa eh. Wala lalagpas ng half court.
Grabe kasi mag-pressure yung 2 gwardiya na yun eh. Pero again, Blakely dishing off a very nice assist pass, and Covington missing his last 2 shots here. Don't look now, this is the biggest lead of Purefoods, but with that shot of Manuel, mababa na naman sa 10 ang kanilang kalamangan ng Purefoods.
So 3:09 remaining in the opening quarter. So far, it's been all Purefoods, and that will be a foul on Vic Manuel. Palagi ko to si Vic tuwan-tuwa na basketball time na ulit. Hinaharap na katawan niya, may binabangga siya. So,
The man! Well.
The muscle man, Vic Manuel. Although if you check his Instagram, mawawala yung takot mo eh. Lambing eh. Lambing
Kasi mabait yan.
Ayun na nga, malambing to sa family niya.
Pero pagdating sa court, no nonsense. Ang ganda talaga ng kombinasyon nila ni The Beast at si Muscle Man.
Meantime, Joe DeBan sends it to Alain Maliksi. Just entered the game. And instant offense with a 3-point shot. Brought to you by PLDT Home Telpat, Landline plus Home DSL plus Tablet.
Very poor recognition and rotation para dito sa Alaska. They were not able to communicate kung sino tatao rito kay Maliksi. Kaya nga naman wide open shot ang first 3 ni Alain.
Meantime, Chris Panchero.
One of the guys who really played so well last conference. Itong si Panchero. And again, itong si Abueva. He has the ability to really change the tempo of the ball game, at pagpasok niya, nag-iba na itong aggressiveness ng Alaska defensively.
Shot clock out to 10 and Blakely is down.
Pangalawang personal foul itatawag dito kay Muscle Man Vic Manuel, at Purefoods still enjoying an 11-point lead.
We'll be back in a moment. Ang paborito niyo PBA, hindi lang mapapanood, mapapahinggan na rin. Catch up with your favorite PBA games at Radio 5 in 92.3 FM everywhere with Noel Zarate at the bombastic Father Barry Pascua. Alam mo kung Father Barry Pascua?
Bakit naman?
Kasi sermo ng abuti mo if you do not do the right things on the court.
Pero pinapagalitan niya yung mga nakikinig sa kanya, hindi naman yung nag-e-error eh.
Kasi sermo na ka pag mali ginawa mo. The Reverend Barry Pascua. Eh, bakit kasi?
Bakit kasi? Tapos pag nakikinig ka, bakit galit ka sa akin? Wala naman kinalaman.
Yung pinapagalitan. Running shot by Mark Barroca. And Barroca looks like he got hit. Medyo ano rin siya may extra motion din siya in direction of Calvin Abueva. Here's that play. There's Mark. He goes for the runner. And then he gets hit. And then boom. Okay. Incidental collision lang there with Calvin. And then, but Barroca got hit somewhere. And checking on him now. Ito si Barroca, matibay ang pangangatawan nito eh.
Malakas masyado itong batang to eh.
I mean, you can make an argument. Mark could be one of the strongest pound-for-pound players in the league.
Pwedeng mo masabi
Pound for
yan.
pound, I meaning, you know, with respect to proportions. But kasi naawa ko pag pinuposta ni Mark yung mga katapat niya na point guard.
Totoo yun. Kayang-kaya niya mabackupan at walang kapaguran. Itong si Mark, pinakitaan niya rin tayo ng glimpse ng kalakasan ng kanyang katawan. Dahil na-foul na siya, but still, he was able to make the basket and even completed the three-point play.
Here's Calvin, open shot. And that ball ends up with Joe Vance. It's a 14-point advantage for Purefoods. Blakely to Mick Pinisi for three. Favorite shot. But he missed it. He's having problems securing defensive rebounds.
Just too many possessions for Purefoods. Parang a step late itong Alaska pagdating sa mga loose ball recoveries at pagdating sa rebounding situations. Makikita natin parang pagod pa itong Alaska. Bitin yung kanilang pahinga dahil wala pang 2 linggo na lumalaban sila sa finals. Ngayon, laro na naman.
Loose ball foul on Mick Pinisi.
Loose ball foul on Mick Pinisi. And some new guys coming in. Belton pumasok kanina, and now referee is coming in for Marcus Blakely.
So, kabilang kupunan playing all Filipino twin tower combination here para dito kay Coach Tim Cone. Alam naman natin lahat na kulang sa rotation itong Purefoods because of the absence of Yusef Taha naman, who's serving his second game, pangalawang laro dun sa suspension niya, di ba?
You know, my gut feel really tells me that if Calvin, kung naglaro siya ng maybe late 80s or early 90s, or even mid 90s, I honestly believe that Senator Jaworski would have loved to coach this player.
Tama yan, dahil he really does not give up. He gives everything on the court. At wala kasing middle ground eh. If you're a fan, it's either you hate him or you love him. Pero grabe rin itong fans nitong si Calvin Abueva.
As Mick Pinisi hits a three-point shot, and Purefoods surging ahead 27-12. Less than 30 seconds remaining dito sa opening quarter. Sam Eman now in the game. Pasa muna kay Don Tubera. Shot clock down to 10. 18 to play in the opening period. Banchero against Melton. There's a double team on Banchero. Normally it's Banchero who is pressuring ball carriers. That time he was the one pressured. Siguro Purefoods, you know, showing people, kala mo, Alaska lang ang magaling kumapetsa ng pressure style. Calling card din namin yan.
Yun, nagpapakita sila ng kanilang intensity naman pagdating sa ball pressure, pero sinwerte itong si Calvin Abueva dahil they were running out of shot clock. Binato na lang na yung bola, natawagan pa ng foul si Rafi Rivas, but si Rafi cannot believe the foul called against him, but tatlong free throws ibibigay rito kay Calvin.
Rafi Rivas, one of the veteran leaders of Purefoods. And here's the third free throw for Calvin. Rebound from Joe Vance. 7 seconds remaining bago matapos ang opening quarter. And here's Rivas. And Rivas saying, why did you pass the ball to me with 2 seconds left? And so that ends the opening quarter. A quarter controlled by Purefoods among Star Hotshots, 27-14. And we'll be back in the second quarter. Mula rito sa Big Dome. Let's take a close look at DJ Covington. So, if you've been watching since the start of the game, you've had one quarter to sort of gauge and measure, no? Ano bang maitutulong ni Covington for Coach Ryan Gagore? What have you seen so far?
Well, playing true to form, and just like the numbers indicated, not really a scorer. In fact, he only scored 2 points in the first quarter on a 1 out of 5 shooting. Pero yung defense naman niya, pati yung kanyang rebounding, pretty much up to par. But for Alaska, they need to manufacture points, and someone should provide it, and they're hoping na itong si Covington ang taong makakapagbigay nun.
Meantime, punta natin si Sel.
Even in just 6 days of practice with Alaska, DJ Covington feels that he's a perfect fit. At tuwing hinahalin tulad siya sa dating import ng Alaska na si Rob Dozier, lalo daw siyang nagkakakumpiyansa maglaro. At naniniwala din si Covington na madali ang kanyang magiging adjustment because back in college, he played in this kind of system so he knows how tough it is to make good decisions at alam niyang advantage ang pagiging athletic. Balik sa inyo.
I suppose it's good when you have an import that's confident in his abilities and the opportunity to help his team. Panchero locates Calvin Abueva. Abueva against Joe Vance. High looper.
A good thing, Abueva playing like an import for Alaska. Came off the bench and scored the 8 points already. Pero for Covington, usually, it's basic human instinct para sa mga Filipinos na, kumbaga, tatantyahin kung anong kayang gawin ng kanilang import. But si Calvin is taking it upon himself to be the first option in offense for his team.
Maliksi, bothered by Abueva and makes the shot anyway.
Can't do much about that shot dahil pilipit na yung tira over the outstretched arm of Calvin Abueva. But Maliksi, also productive, 5 points coming off the bench.
Three-time pull-up on Tiveros. And nice to see Gabby Espinas back in action.
Yes, he missed at least 2 conferences due to a dislocated ankle. He missed the entire All-Filipino at tama ka, medyo na-miss din ang mga fans itong si Gabby.
Shot clock down to 10. Calvin Abueva against Mick Penisi. Covington. And now Banchero for 3. I know Gabby Espinas, yung finals, siguro naluluha yan. Dahil gusto niyang makalaro, lalo na ng pisikalan eh.
Oo, yun ang mga gusto niyang pagkaan. Pare-pareho yan eh. Yung tatlong yan, Calvin, si Muscleman Vic, pati si Gabby.
Yep. I wonder if iniisip din ng Alaska if they had Gabby, you know, perfectly healthy. Kumbaga pwede na talaga maglaro in high-intense situation. How things could have changed. May isa ka pang pambangga kay Junmar.
Someone who can give off 5 fouls, 6 fouls at least at yung, kumbaga, iindahin mo eh. Pag tinamaan ka rin ito ni Gabby.
Those are fouls that you will feel 5 days later. Maraming painkiller bagay dyan. Kaya lang, di-sponsor kaya di ko babanggitin. 29-16, Purefoods still ahead. Melton over to JDV. Laban kay Calvin. JDV with a height advantage. Joe Vance. Offensive foul.
That's great toughness para rito kay Calvin Abueva. He did not demand a double team. He felt that he could take itong si Joe Vance in the circle coverage. He felt the elbow and aided with a little acting job, eliciting an offensive foul. But still, Alaska down by 13 points, and they must look at players and see players who can score. Dahil nakaka-stop sila, pero hindi naman sila nakaka-score.
Big risk to the Vance. Now matched up against Espinas. Got to shoot for Purefoods. Top by 13 points. Corner shot for Elaine Maliksi. That's another 3. Brought to you by PLDT Home Telpat. Landline plus Home DSL plus tablet.
And a great luxury here for Coach Tim Cone. You have not seen PJ Simon play, but itong si Maliksi off the bench, leading all scorers right now with 8 points, and 2 coming from the 3-point area.
Foul number 2, Justin Melton.
An aggressive move by Banchero. Melton giving up the foul. So Banchero will take 2 free throws. I would like this opportunity, grab this opportunity to greet a special friend, si Manang Melba, watching along with Rap and Glenn Brian Guhelde. Si Manang Melba, ito nagbabatay sa mga klase ng anak ko sa school nila. So siya yung parang ano doon, yung pag-dismissal. Siya yung making sure na ito, masundo nito. Okay yan. So yan, mahal na anak ko yan. Manang Melba, my daughter misses you already in school. Happy viewing. Thanks for watching the game. Joe Vance against Calvin Abueva. 8.5 remaining in the first half. Gabby Espinas will give up the foul.
So if there's one thing that Purefoods is doing a great job is really controlling the tempo of the ball game. There is one thing that Alaska does so well, especially on defense, that is after they make a basket. But with the kind of defense that Purefoods is doing, hindi nakakapag-align dun sa full court press yung Alaska, kaya kontrolado ng Purefoods itong game natin na ito.
Yeah, guys like Maliksi come off the bench, and they contribute immediately. Once again, the Alaska Aces undermanned entering this game. No Sanitos and no JB Casio. Calvin Abueva is there, and Calvin goes in. Here's Espinas. Espinas with the reverse.
Gabby finding that little space to go for his first basket here in this ball game. Kinailangan pa niyang maging creative to make that shot. And actually, itong si Gabby pagdating sa ilalim, ang hirap rin istapin dahil kaya niya rin umiscore sa kanan o sa kanyang kaliwang kamay. But naturally, he's a left-handed guy.
Because yun ang kabisado niya yung mga pectus of the
Yes.
backcourt. Kahit na yung tinatang malalim yung tukod, naaabot niya yan eh. Tapos alam niya paano ipajolits yung...
Oo, may pectus pang bahagya yan.
That's right. English kung tawagin sa billiards. And it's sayang because when he got injured, he was playing stupendous basketball.
Yes, he was actually a focal point on the offensive attack of Alaska. And what is interesting here, and nice job by Gabby Espinas, he was able to get that off the offensive rebounding end at nakascore siya. Doon nga sa nabanggit nating underneath the basket.
Sports 360 every Sunday, 2 p.m. in the afternoon with Nico Ramos, Aaron Ataide, and the blooming Erica Padilla. She is glowing nowadays, ha?
Ganun ba?
Oo eh. Tinanong ko nga kung bakit eh.
Pero maganda yung show na yan. Inaabangan ko yan eh. Yan 360 na yan. Tuwing linggo yan eh.
Oo eh. Oo nga, talaga inaabangan mo. Eh, isang beses pa lang pinapalabas yun eh.
Oo, kaya nga tuwa ako.
Niloloko
Pero
mo
napapanood
ako
ko yan eh.
Sa
Napapanood ko yan sa
online.
portal. Oo. Kanina nga, papunta ako rito. Yun ang pinapanood ko eh. Yung catch up.
Oh, yun.
Kita mo?
Here's Covington.
Pang-apat na puntos lamang ni Covington pero enough to bite into the lead of Purefoods. Pero mas kailangan pang mas maraming puntos na mag-generate itong si Covington. Samantala, natawagan ng foul itong si Calvin Abueva. Tinulak pa niya, out of control na nga itong si Malyari. Usually, yung energy nitong si Calvin Abueva, napapahamak din siya. But you have to take the good and the bad every time itong si Calvin Abueva plays.
There's Covington with the field goal. Meantime, back to live action. Maliksi, who's well off the bench. Pasa muna kay Pigris. Pigris against Espinas. That's a great matchup. Pass to Blakely. And then second chance opportunity again for Purefoods.
That is just nice assist pass by Mark Pigris. He really was looking at the weak side movements, and as soon as he saw Blakely open for that cut, he dished off that pass. Blakely was not successful in the first one, but just because of pure hard work, he was able to make that shot, but he was unsuccessful to complete the three-point play.
Covington at tinawagan ng foul. That was his third personal. He's been busy getting rebounds tonight. London Ontiveros for three. Coming out. And who gets the ball? It's with James. Yeah, quickly to Malyari. Alex Malyari on the move. And Malyari will miss, but he will take 2 free throws.
Foul number 17, Ping Similiano. That's his first
Foul is on Ping Eximiliano, his first personal. Aces already in the penalty with 6:45 remaining in the second quarter. And Alex Malyari makes the first free throw. Alex Malyari stepping up against Global Port.
Very good numbers for Alex Malyari. He's only averaging 5.4 points per game but exploded, almost doubled his performance. At kanina nakita natin maka 3-point shot itong si Alex Malyari at ngayon nakumpleto naman niya yung kanyang free throws ron. But hindi natin napapansin nung maalago na ng gusto itong Purefoods.
Well, the Aces looking for a way to get back here, down by 16 big points. the second personal foul laban kay Pingris, which will send Gabby Espinas to the free throw line.
Well, you look at the roster of Coach Alex Compton now, it's really Gabby who can be his point of attack on offense at hindi naman siya pinapahiya. Gabby was able to fish a foul.
The 2015 PLDT Home Telpad PBA Commissioner's Cup is now available on Signal HD pay-per-view, channel 198. Open to all Signal HD subscribers, that's postpaid and prepaid. Just 299 pesos for the entire conference. To order, log on to www.signal.tv for postpaid subscribers or visit your nearest Signal dealer or smart load retailer and load HDV 299.
That's just perfect press offense for Coach Tim Cone. He came in prepared. He knows how to break that full court trap of Alaska, and with no last line defender who is massive in the person of a Toss or even an Eman or even a Covington. It was just Gabby Espinas, wide open layup for Malyari.
Here's Azul, fakes, fires, gets the bounce.
Anak-anakang ganti to para rito kay RJ Hazul. Ang ginagawa ng Alaska, hindi lang talaga nagpapaiwan ng gusto. There's still 5:51 remaining in the second quarter. Their goal, I am certain, just below 10 points pagdating ng ating halftime break. Yes. Kasi titira talaga to ng third quarter pero napansin natin, di ba? Nung against San Miguel, nagpapaiwan ang gusto tapos babalik.
And Blakely scores. He has 8 points tonight. But yes, I mean, Alaska really solidified their reputation in the finals. Really convincing a lot of people that akala tuloy ng ibang tao by design. Nagpapabugbog talaga sa simula.
Nangyari nga, first half, laro. Pagdating sa second half, game na.
Game on. There's a foul on Eric Meg's move.
Foul on number 2, Justin Milton.
Foul is on Justin Milton, his second personal. 13 foul on hot shots. 40-24, Purefoods on top. And babalik po kami after this time out.
Nagbabalik po tayo dito sa PBA on TV5. It's Purefoods Star Hot Shots against the Alaska Aces. And we are with David Nurse, right? And he's an NBA skills coach, and he will be helping out Purefoods. So, David, we just want to know how this all, how this thing started, how you got tapped by Coach Tim and his staff.
So I'm good friends with Coach Cone through NBA contacts. Coach Cone was over in Las Vegas at the NBA Summer League. We both know a lot of people in the NBA, and we just kind of meshed together. And he's one of the best coaches and one of the best people that I know in general. So it just made a whole lot of sense that, hey, I want to come help his team, help him as much as possible, and that's kind of how it worked.
Okay, so we know that, you know, Purefoods also had a lot of championships, and, you know, they're a very well-coached team. So what is it in particular that you're going to be helping? What kind of help are you going to give the Purefoods team?
So my main aspect that I work with is helping players become better shooters. One of my mentors is actually Chip England of the Spurs, who played back in for the national team back in the day. So that's kind of what I'm going to focus on. But, I mean, Coach Cone's record speaks for itself. So to say that he needs any help, I wouldn't say he needs any help. I just want to be value to him and bring some of the stuff I do with my NBA guys to help out his players as well.
We are very excited and we are looking forward to that. Thank you, David, for your time ngayon. Punta naman tayo kay Coach Ryan Gregorio and Nico Halil.
You know, he said the magic word, Chip England.
Yes.
Okay na ako.
Okay na.
That's all I need to hear.
Na.
Chip England.
Pero it's not true that he's a shooting nurse, despite the fact that that is his surname. He's actually a shooting doctor.
Yeah. Witty ka, ha?
Eh baka natutulungan niya si Alex Malyari. Di ba?
Eximiniano with a missed three-point shot. It is 42-25 in favor of Purefoods. Don't you wish when you were still playing for the University of the Philippines na uso na yung mga ganyang mga shooting coach?
Oh, I don't need it.
You don't need it.
I need a height coach.
Matagal na naghahanap niyan. Tumawag pa ako sa Philippine Medical Association. Wala na.
That's what we know naman, Nico. Followed my career.
I did follow your career. I followed it very closely.
Shooting
In fact, I was the only one following your career.
Shooting from behind the white line.
Here's that shot by James Yap spinning around and knocking it down.
Walang ganyan dati si James nung nagsimula eh.
Oh.
Naturuan ng bahagya.
Ba, sino nakapagturo dyan?
Yung first coach niya.
Babaw mo na yung bangko mo. Babaw mo na, babaw mo na. Here's Blakely. Shot clock down to 8. Blakely trying to locate James. And play saved by Baroka, but Eric Meng clears the rebound. Spin by Abueva. And a foul in the backcourt. Now, Purefoods bench claiming na ano dapat yan ano. Kasi may dalawa na yata blue shirts na nauna on the other end.
Clear path foul. And the referees are conferring, but definitely two guys running to finish the fast break opportunity for Purefoods. And could be a bad break for Alaska and Coach Alex Compton, really knowing the gravity of that foul. So hindi binigyan. Just a regular foul for Galvin Abueva kasi sa NBA Live, clear path foul yun.
No, you know what? Okay, as Palyari takes this free throw, somebody on Twitter actually asked me last night, what is the logic behind the clear path foul?
Yes.
May sinagot ako, no? Which is probably incorrect. So I will let you answer it. What is the rationale behind the clear path foul?
Ang importante kasi dyan, narito si Perry Martinez. Dahil para ma-explain sa atin ng tama. Pero ang situation kasi dyan is kung yung bola at yung offensive team talagang advanced na, there's no way for the defensive team to stop, tatawagan ka ng clear path foul doon. Pero parang ang nangyari doon, natawagan kasi sa backcourt. Okay. So that could be material. Okay. Yeah, it was just a regular foul for Alaska. Phone in si
makapag-tweet sabihin.
Anthony Perry. Si Boss Perry pa.
Boss Perry, yes. Here's Blakely. Shot clock down to 6. Malyari. To Pingris. One-hander is good. Already a 20-point lead for Purefoods. As Eric Meng scores.
Nakanak ang pagganti para rito sa Alaska. If you are surprised where the import of Alaska is, he actually has 3 fouls already. Kaya minabuti na ni Coach Alex Compton na pagpahingayin lamang. 4 na puntos pa lang ang kanyang nai-score at masyadong well-oiled itong Purefoods sa laki ng play. Ayan, no? Back shot once again.
Back shot from an extremely difficult angle brought to you by PLDT Hotel Pad. Landline plus home DSL plus tablet.
I won't be surprised because usually when you're shooting, the backboard is actually an aid for you to have a higher shooting clip. Baka yun ang contribution ni Coach Nurse.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. 1:46 remaining in the second quarter, and you know it's been all Purefoods dito sa first half as we enter this 30-second timeout. Now, why is it that Alaska, hindi sila makabuo ng maybe like a 6-0 run or a 7-8-0 run?
Kulang kasi sa offensive weapon. Alam naman natin na si JB Casio and Santos are not playing in this ball game. With JV, you're missing an outside threat. With Sunny, you're missing an inside threat. So inside-outside attack, kulang na kulang sa production.
As you look at the conference format, well, the supposed height disadvantage ni Blakely against the entire field of imports, well, that was not a problem in their first game. And so far, it has not been a problem tonight.
Well, the basic strength of Marcus Blakely really is his familiarity. 2 ways. One is the way the officiating is being done, and also yung familiarity niya sa kanyang mga teammates. Alam na nila. He's been here for so long, won a championship together, kaya hindi iniinda yung 2-3 inches na height disadvantage.
In fact, the way Purefoods has been playing, it's as if lahat ng taga Purefoods may height advantage over the aces.
Kulang kasi rin sa malaki itong Alaska at They're just playing good basketball. They're making the necessary assist passes. If it's required for them to make an extra pass, they will actually do it, and that's one of the reasons why Coach Tim Cone is very upbeat about his conference right now. Ang sinabi niya nga, bumalik na yung kanilang gutom.
Cyrus, short stab. And only one shot at a time for the Aces. Just a little over a minute remaining sa second quarter. Malyari to Blakely. Shot clock reads 15. James Yap firing away.
Just easy basketball. He was able to get that space and that handoff. Blakely once again, knowing what James can do, unselfishly enough, gave off that nice assist pass.
There's a minute left to the second quarter. Baguio tries again, and this time he's there's that backward pressure by the Aces. And there's the matchup that I was waiting for. Barroca against Eximiliano.
Naibaba naman.
James Yap for three. Azul. 30 seconds left before the end of the second period. RJ Azul for three. Barroca who gets the rebound. Ingris, easy shot.
Actually, nakita mo, that pass was actually for Alex Malyari who was cutting from the weak side. Pero inabot ni Pingris, hindi naman niya pinahiya yung assist pass na yun ni Blakely.
And 7 seconds remaining before the end of the first half. RJ Azul, where's he going? Passes to Vic Manuel. 1.6 seconds to go. Barroca at the buzzer. It's the backboard. That first half clearly, visibly, emphatically belonged to Purefoods. James Yap with 12 points, scoring 7 of the 12 in a scintillating second quarter performance. This Purefoods team wants to bounce back from not winning a championship in the Philippine Cup. Their coach says that their hunger is back. Mukhang ganun nga yung situation as evident or as was the evidence we saw in the first half. We'll be back with the second half after the back inside a big dome kung saan namamayan yung Purefoods Star Hot Shots. You know, Purefoods laban sa Alaska Aces. Easy to score 7-35. Magandang gabi po, Migo Alili with the Emperor of Eloquence and the Paragon of Persistence, the man who talks too much, Coach Ryan Gregorio.
I'm trying to censor myself.
So explain, Coach Ryan, using the magic of the telestrator, you know what is Alaska doing in the first half?
Well, they're actually having a hard time scoring. The import has not been so productive here in this ball game, whereas itong Purefoods naman, talagang kitang-kita mo na maganda yung kanilang usual fluidity. But this is one situation wherein Alaska scoring their first 2 points, only points from the fast break. We stop it right there. Itong si Covington running the length of the court, not waiting for the defense of Blakely. He only scored 2 points here in the ball game, but one of the ways to score para rito kay Covington really is via the fast break variety.
Well, Covington, this is the opportunity for Alaska fans to see how Covington can, really help Alaska, and we certainly need more from Covington in the second half. Okay, tingnan natin yung sa Purefoods. Purefoods fans yung mga nasa likod. Here's the play selected by Coach Ryan for the Purefoods.
Well, we stop it right here. This is one play, part of the triangle offense, wherein they want to isolate James Yap on the elbow. And take a look at these people right here. These are people who are moving. So in other words, for the defensive mindset of the players of Alaska, hindi sila makakahelp eh. This is wide open for James Yap to attack. But on the last second, Vic Manuel was there to help. And just unselfish play here for James Yap. He did not force the shot. Instead, he gave that nice drop pass to Mark Pingris and a 3-point play for Purefoods. So unselfish basketball for Purefoods, and that is the reason. You take a look at the field goal percentage for them. 55%, in fact, on the 2-point area alone, they shot 65% and 36% from the 3-point area. All departments here in our halftime summary being controlled by Purefoods. For Alaska, two things. They're having a hard time scoring, and their vaunted energy on defense is nowhere in sight.
You haven't seen it, huh?
Yes. 27 points yung Purefoods in the first quarter and 30 points. Not really the usual defensive strength of Alaska yung nakita natin sa dalawang yugto.
James Yap with 12. He scored 7 in the second quarter. Malyari splendid tonight with 10. Blakely with 8, but you know he does a lot of other things in the game. And for the Aces, Calvin Abueva leading the way with 8. And their import DJ Covington, I suppose 4 points can never be enough for an import.
Well, one of the reasons really is he only played a total of 14 minutes due to foul trouble. He already has 3 fouls, but expect him at least to be offensive-minded here in the third quarter. His team is down by 22 points. At the rate things went on in the first 2 quarters, parang si Abueva pa yung kanilang import ron, top scorer with 8 points. So Coach Alex Compton is really hoping na mag-step on the plate itong si Covington and Kerry and contribute dun sa kanilang scoring. Masyadong mababa yung 35 points para rito sa Alaska.
So Purefoods starts the third period with Mark Maroca, Marcos Blakely, there's Alex Malyari kasama si Mark Pingris, and of course James Carlos Yaku fires a 3. And the rebound ends up with Calvin Abueva kasama ni Calvin, Chris Bonchero, Ping Eximiliano, DJ Covington, and Dondon Ontiveros. Blakely will take 2.
So Purefoods pushing the ball here. They were able to get a steal, and they did not wait for the defense of Alaska to reset. And Blakely, a recipient of that nice pass from Malyari. His first free throw, hindi pumasok. Meron lamang 7 puntos o 8 puntos ito si Blakely, pero hindi naman niya masyadong kailangan dahil si James Yap, nabanggit nga natin, may kabuoang 12 puntos na, at si Malyari, 10 puntos na rin ang kanyang nai-score.
And yet guys like Alim Maliksi coming off the bench, hitting 3-point shots. Everything going in the way of Purefoods back in the first half. Will the same thing happen in the second half? We'll find out. Abueva loses the ball. Blakely running, driving, hanging in the air, but missing the shot. Bonchero. 13 to shoot for the Aces. They go to Covington against Pingris. And Covington will miss, but the putback is good for Chris Bonchero.
It was just a lucky putback there. He was just at the right place and at the right time. Itong si Bonchero, but Covington parang wincing in pain right now. Is now 2 out of 7 from the field and only 4 points for the Alaska.
Meantime, Malyari against Bonchero, and Alex Malyari drives, and may humila dito kay Alex as we send you back to set.
Coach Alex Compton was telling his team na kailangan lang nila mag-focus, at ang sabi naman ng kanilang team captain na si Tony De La Cruz, it is possible that some guys ay hindi pa nakaka-get over mula sa kanilang last conference. At sabi naman ni Coach Tim Coates sa Purefoods, they have to keep the tempo at wag nilang kalilimutan that against San Miguel nung huling finals, Alaska can bounce back from a huge deficit. Balik sa inyo.
I suppose people watching this game, you know, kasi ano na parang kumbaga na-condition na yung mga utak natin. You watch Alaska, and even if they're down big, you always have that belief, fan faith, that they will come back.
Well, they've distinguished themselves as the new Never Say Die team, and nobody will debate that, especially with their performance in the first quarter. Not with the way Ginebra is playing right now. Tayo, inaasa pa rin tayo na sana bumalik din yung sigla ng Ginebra. Pero at least in the All-Filipino Cup, yun ang pinakita ng Alaska. Diba? Yun, ano lang naman tayo, we're speaking as a normal basketball fan. Nakita natin yung bounce back genes na pinakita ng Alaska. At bilang basketball fan din, gusto natin makabalik din yung Hinebra sa kanilang kinalalagyan.
Back it up. Okay, once again, showing you the conference format. Siyempre, you know, before a tournament or in the early stages of tournament, I'm sure, ikaw, madalas ka rin natatanong, you know, our beloved fans, they always ask, oh, ano, sir, sino mas tingin nyo, mga contender, mga favorite? And I tell you, the Commissioner's Cup and the Governor's Cup, it's almost impossible to predict anything because it highly depends on the quality of the imports.
That is correct. Every time there is an import-laden conference, 60% at least will depend on the performance of your reinforcement. At kaya ito si Coach Tim Cone, ang isang galing niya rin yung mag-pinpoint ng mahusay na import na angkop sa kanyang sistema. Ang galing kumuha ng reinforcement itong si Coach Tim Cone. Ngayon nga, Blakely. Tapos si Orton,
Hindi nga
dumating
si Blakely
na.
yung first choice.
Oo.
As James Yap fires. And I think if you've watched the league long enough, covered it long enough, you realize na yung mga resume ng import, kahit panggaling NBA, it's never a guarantee that that import will blend well with his teammates and will adjust to the PBA style of play.
Sabi nga ni Forrest Gump, pareho rin sa pagkuha ng import. It's like a box of chocolates. Hindi mo alam kung ano makukuha mo. Staggering credentials minsan, hindi makaka-produce ng magandang numero rito sa PBA. Minsan naman, Division 3, tulad ni Sean Chambers. Yun naman ang tumatagal dito sa liga natin.
As Mark Pingris secures the rebound, 59-39, Purefoods very much in control. As Blakely gets another offensive rebound, which is, I mean, really specialty of the house for Marcus Blakely.
He will actually take a wild shot, pero minsan
alam niya kung saan pupunta yung bola.
parang sadya nga minsan Pero ito, bad news for Coach Alex Compton. Yung kanyang import natawagan na ng pang-apat na foul. Pero usually kasi rin itong si Blakely pag sa start ng conference, nagsa-struggle siya from the free throw line. So far is only 2 out of 6, but his team is still on top by 20 points. Make it 21.
Because he has not spent enough time with Coach Richard in his school of free throw shooting. Maaga pa in the tournament.
Yes.
Later on, if let's say Purefoods decides to stick with Blakely, maybe makikita natin yung proof that Coach Richard is the best free throw coach in the universe.
We'll see.
Hindi pa nga natutuloy yung plano namin na school of three-point shooting.
Sino ako?
Hindi pa. Ito si Coach Richard.
Ganun.
Oo, siya rin. Kung marami kami naloko doon sa free throw school yun din ang plano namin doon sa three-point shooting school.
Aba. May nagatin?
Maraming nag-inquire. 12 to shoot for Purefoods as Blakely attacks and Blakely will score. You know, at this point, Purefoods is scoring with impunity. They're doing what they want to do and they're scoring when they want to score.
Mahirap kasi yung matchup ni Calvin Abueva is task to guard itong si Blakely dahil nga napakaraming foul na itong si Covington. Pero nakabawi naman si Abueva rin. Ito na, si Eximiliano.
Eximiliano making it hard for Mark Baroka, telling Mark Baroka, I can also do what you can do.
Yun pinakita niya na nahirapan na magbaba si Baroka at di lamang yun. He was able to complete a turnover at 18 puntos. Winarning nga ni Coach Tim Cone yung kanyang mga bata na ito yung mga quarter na babalik itong Alaska.
Aliari on the run. Back to a 20-point lead for Purefoods. Banchero to Abueva against Blakely. Calvin goes up and down the ball, but a foul will be called on Purefoods. It goes against Blakely, his second person.
That's his second foul, 2 on Purefoods now. 2 free throws for Calvin Abueva.
2 free throws for Calvin Abueva. 2 for 2. And Calvin in double figures with 10 points. In terms of, maybe let's say body language, do you see any difference from the Purefoods team that we're watching right now and the Purefoods team as Pingris attacks and gets snuffed, and the Purefoods team that played in the Philippine Cup?
Oh, yes. Here, they're contesting every shot. They're pushing the ball. They don't look tired. That's what they look like in the All-Filipino. Kaya nga sabi natin, that All-Filipino debacle might just turn out to be a blessing in disguise for them. Dahil they've been in the finals for so long. At ito, makikita natin itong exchange na yon. Alaska was able to block that shot and foiled it again. But on the other end, itong si Malyari timing his jump and foiling that layup of Baroka. Nakatakbo ulit itong Purefoods si James Yap nakakuha naman ng foul. So going back to your question, meron bang ibang nakikita?
Oh, may napapansin ka bang kakaiba sa Purefoods ngayon from the Philippine Cup?
Iba yung kanilang bounce, mas maganda yung energy nila at talagang obvious na they are a team with a mission. Nakapahinga, hindi sanay na mamahinga ng maaga at ngayon tuloy-tuloy ang kanilang goal na paprotektahan ng kanilang Commissioner's Cup Championship. Para kasing naumay na nung first conference.
Ang ganda naman ng problema nila. Naumay sila sa championship.
Sunod-sunod, 4 na dikit yun
I mean, it's emotionally, physically draining. What they have to go through as Calvin Abueva fires. And Blake was actually daring Calvin. Yeah, go ahead, take the shot. Calvin took the shot and made it.
Blakely did not even put a hand up. Kaya talagang pagka-shoot ni Calvin, tinignan pa itong si Blakely.
No basket, says referee Dax Dakanay. That foul will go against Calvin Abueva, his 4th personal. It's a tough matchup, even for Calvin, having to guard Marcus Blakely. And now it's import against import. Shot clock down to 10 as we near the halfway mark of the 3rd. Pingris wants the ball against Calvin Abueva. Oh, Malyari got the ball. And then finally, Calvin secures the basketball for the Aces. But he's being pestered in the backcourt by Blakely. Banchero to Ontiveros in the corner. Yes, sir! That's a 3. Brought to you by PLDT Home Telcap at 9+ Home DSL. Plus tablet.
15 puntos na lamang itong inahabol ng Alaska. Alam mo, parang ganun talaga nangyayari. Iba yung energy na pinapakita nila pagdating sa second half
First foul on Dondon, his 4th personal. The magic word for Alaska when they want to get back in games, it's a scientific term.
What is it?
Tatantini. Kailangan, as Blakely makes the first free throw, it has to be a tatantinin kind of game. Yung bang natatarantan lahat ng players because of the pressure defense, that's when they get their turnovers, that's when they get their open court opportunities, that's how they get back in the game.
Pero when you mentioned that it's a scientific term,
it's a scientific term.
Importante dyan, Googleable yan.
Ay,
grabe yung binitawan mo.
I guaranteed, you Google it right now, nothing will come out. There's Joe Devats. Alain Maliksi. Pingris, handoff, Baroka. Shot clock down to 14. Mark Baroka goes to Alain Maliksi from the corner.
That's a nice pass.
3-point shot brought to you by PLDT Home Telpad, landline plus home DSL plus tablet.
That's a safety pass right there. Every time somebody goes baseline, if you cannot get a shot off, it's always the corner guy that should be open. And doon open si Malyari. Pero nasiko itong si
Mark Baroka.
Oh.
May have gotten a wayward elbow from Chris Banchero. And he's still down.
He was not able to protect his space.
But that's the Baroka style of defense. Sacrifice everything. Here's that play.
Ayun, nako.
left elbow. There. Barroca felt it and went down for the count. Actually, this play, tuloy-tuloy yan, open shot for Banchero, and then he knocked down the jumper. And Barroca really shaken up here.
Masama talaga, tama. Yung kanilang trainer na si Coach Nick Ocampo. Lagay agad ng ice. So, for Coach Tim Cone, it is a cue for him to give Barroca a rest, who is obviously looking winded at this point.
Winded and wobbly.
Oh.
As he staggers back to the Purefoods bench. And so Justin Melton will take Barroca's place. Automatically, Eximiniano assuring Melton. Blakely on the right side. Purefoods still ahead here, 70-53. 5 minutes left in the third. Jordan Vance, shot knocked down to 10. Jordan Vance against Cyrus Baguio. Cross court to Blakely. Blakely for 3. Yes, sir! Brought to you by PLDT Home Feltman, Landline plus Home DSL plus tablet.
Usually you give that shot off kay Blakely, but there are some nights wherein na-issue-shoot niya yung ganung mga tira.
Third personal on Justin Melton. Shot clock down to 10. Baguio to Covington. Covington drives and he was fouled. Wait, let's go to Sel.
A few updates lang sa nangyari kay Mark Barroca. According to Doc Raffi of Purefoods, nag-internal bleeding daw ang ilong nitong si Mark Barroca. Kaya very uncertain kung makakabalik pa siya dito sa larong ito. Balik sa inyo.
I'm sure Purefoods fans very concerned with the condition of Mark at this moment. Mark Barroca, here's what happened. There's the left elbow of Chris Banchero as he was protecting the ball. Bagsak si Mark. Took a while before Mark got on his feet and then staggered to the bench. He's still on the Purefoods bench, so he's not being escorted to the dugout. He's still on that Purefoods bench, but very uncertain as to whether Barroca returns to the game or not.
Dr. Rafi Sanchez making sure na first aid will be given to Mark Barroca. Pero just the athleticism of Melton, the smallest man in the court, but definitely can jump out of the gym. And he was ambidextrous in that particular play, finishing off with his left hand.
Covington, double team, handoff Azul, and foul from behind for Justin Melton, his fourth personal.
That's his fourth foul, 5 on Purefoods now.
Not yet a team penalty, it's just Purefoods team. At pang-limang foul pa lamang nila yun.
Baguio to Vic Manuel. And that will be a basket. Plus a bonus free throw for Manuel.
Now, number 23,
Fourth personal foul will be called against Marcus Blakely.
This tough shot brought to you by DeWalt Power Tools, guaranteed tough.
warning on Marcus Blakely for a second.
That's just nice. Extra pass there for Cyrus Baguio. He wanted to look for that opening, but he saw two blue shirts guarding him, so he made that unselfish pass to Vic Manuel. Not only was he successful, pero ang maganda kasi dyan, if you get the import in team foul trouble, malaking bagay din sa offense ng isang opponent.
Especially a team that's trying to catch up.
Yes.
Actually, kanina, I think the fans in the Big Dome and the fans watching at home, parang naramdaman nila. I think the lead was down to 15.
Yes.
And parang Alaska was generating momentum, but Purefoods found a way to quell that initial salvo.
Yung pagkatira ni Dondon Ontiveros in the corner, parang yung mga nag-witness ng finals natin, eto na ang Alaska.
Yeah, and normally, when Alaska makes a comeback, normally Dondon plays a pivotal part. Parang kailangan may kasamang Dondon three-point shot to get that rally going. Meantime, the man on the line is Jean-Marc Pingris. as we check out this selfie brought to you by PLDT Home Telpad, landline plus home DSL plus tablet. Kasi I know you don't do Twitter because you feel, masyadong limiting eh. Gusto mo kasi kung magsusulat ka, parang Constitution of the Philippines eh. Mahaba. But do you do Instagram?
What is that?
You don't know what Instagram is? Gosh.
What else?
Snapchat.
What is that?
Tinder, alam mo yun. Huwag mo na alamin yun. Hindi na para sa atin yung mga ganun.
Google lang tayo.
3:14 remaining in the third. And Joe Devance will start the play. You should, seriously, you should consider going on social media because hindi kang tagahanga, coach eh. Marami nagpapapicture sa'yo. Really sure your fans will be appreciative if you share some of your what you do in your personal time on social media.
Oh, it's too personal.
Too personal. Joe Devance scores, and Joe Devance with a bonus free throw foul on Tony De La Cruz, his second personal. And we have a timeout here with under 3 minutes left in the third. Back in the 2:55 remaining in the third. And the Aces are still looking for a way to wiggle their way back in this contest, which has been controlled by Purefoods from the get-go. Actually, kung let's say ngayon lang kayo nakanood, this was a Purefoods kind of game all the way back in the opening quarter.
We started 12 for Purefoods and only 2 for Alaska. And here in the third quarter, usually the quarter for Alaska, itong Purefoods, they were able to just douse cold water out of the rally aspiration of the Milkmen.
As we send you back to Cell.
Sabi ni Coach Alex Compton, it's okay that we don't get a stop for as long as we keep running the floor. At itong si Coach Tim ko nasabi, challenge them high, challenge them low. At itong si Dr. Sanchez nga ng Purefoods, binigyan na ng go signal. Itong si Mark Baroka na mukhang atat na nga bumalik dito sa larong ito. Balik sa inyo.
As Justin Melton fires from the corner, he knocks it down.
Sinunod si Alex dahil sa report ni Cell. It's okay if we don't make the stop. Masyadong malaki na yung kalamangan. 24 na to. So siguro kailangan din maging defensive-minded. Itong Alaska, they're sputtering on both ends of the floor. Kaya naiiwanan na sila dito sa quarter na ito.
Speaking of sputtering, Aces lose the ball. Justin Melton flies in the air, scores on a layup. Really appears that every player that Tim Cohen has fielded in has helped and contributed to the Purefoods cause. At natulak sa likod si Cyrus. Laban kay Maliksi.
Ang talagang namamayani dyan doon sa guys coming off the bench who are contributing on the offensive end for Coach Tim Cohen. Pinangungunahan ni Alex Malyari. Pero ay nag-start pala si Alex Malyari.
Maliksi,
Melton na 6 points. Itong si
Joe Devance.
Nakatulong rin. So yung rotation ni Coach Tim, the players are really contributing sa opensa. Kaya napakalaki na itong kalimangan niya.
Rare error on the part of Purefoods. Another 2 minutes left. And at this point, Coach Tim, even if he looks that way, probably is not complaining about anything because everything is going their way. But I guess, as most coaches are, like you are yourself, you will find a way, you will find something to complain about, even if you're on top by 80 points. Tony De La Cruz. Correct. I really believe coaches by nature are pessimists. It's part of the job eh. Hindi pwede kontento ka eh. Kailangan maghahanap ka ng kailangan i-improve.
Kasi kung walang mali, walang maituturo eh. Baka hindi ka na kailangan.
Ano pa ginagawa mo dyan?
Hindi ka na kailangan eh.
Shot clock down to 6. Aces with an opportunity here. They throw the ball away. course, if you're an Alaska diehard, as Joe Vance will miss, you still believe that, you know, patapos na yung third. One more quarter for Alaska to come up with yet another epic comeback as RJ Hazul knocks down the three.
Meron pang 18 seconds na nalalabid dito sa third quarter and the whole of 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. There is one thing that Purefoods really came in prepared. It is really their press offense. Alam nila kung saan ang gagaling yung alignment, yung double team ng Alaska, and for some reason, pag naitawid nila yung bola, easy layup para sa kanilang kumpanya.
Time winding down in the third quarter. It's still all Purefoods tonight. 85-63.
Hey, talk. I don't need to teach you that. You gotta be better now. Coming down, single high. Hey, Cyrus, get the ball. Single high for you and DJ. DJ, set the three. Cyrus, coming up. Single high.
For more exclusive content para sa mga behind-the-scenes updates and pre- and post-game analysis, log on sa www.sports5.ph. Mapapanood nyo rin ang bawat PBA game on live streaming. Don't miss a second of your PBA. Log on to sports5.ph. Bisita ka minsan sa Bro Show. Every Monday.
Ay, gusto ko yan.
Bisita ka. Kaya lang
Anong airtime? Gano'ng kahaba?
1 hour na yun nga. Award niya kita, isang oras lang So, bayaan mo lang kami mag-good evening. Tapos ikaw na bahala.
Pupunta pa kayo.
Tapos magsalita kami, pag magano na kami, mag-good night. Sa'yo na yung
Lead-in lang,
Sa'yo na yung 58 minutes. Bayaan mo lang kami ng 2 minutes para lang bumati.
May damage ba yan? Huwag kang damage.
Bro Show. Every Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. Meantime, here's Alaska trying to score at the end of the third. And all the way to the end of the third, the Aces really having problems in this game, allowing Purefoods to race ahead. As we end 3 quarters of basketball. The hot shots are on top, 86-63. Pagbalik po namin, start of the fourth and final quarter. Okay, here's a careful assessment of DJ Covington, the Alaska import. Go ahead, Coach Ryan.
Well, for one, his field goal shooting is not really at a high clip. He's shooting less than 50%, but he can definitely score when facing up. Not usually a back-to-the-basket player, but as soon as he gets that ball and he has enough space going to his right, he's more effective. A total of 8-10 points for Covington, and again, compare it to Marcus Blakely, who has 16. All the departments being controlled by Blakely. For Covington, this might just be a case of still adjusting to the kind of play that the PBA is, kumbaga, attuned to.
Welcome to the fourth and final quarter. As Cyrus Baguio uncorks. Even when they, alam mo yun yung, minsan sobrang walang nangyayaring maganda sa team. Cyrus already had a chance to get the basketball, and then nabitawan pa. But they get the ball back here. So a lucky break for the Aces, and when you're trying to bounce back from this huge deficit, you need as many lucky breaks as possible.
And you have to score also. You cannot trade baskets right now. And for Rivas, despite the fact that they're up by a huge margin, nandun pa rin yung kanyang defense mentality.
Welcome to the early moments of the fourth and final quarter. And you wonder if Coach Tim is looking at his players, looking at the score. I know coaches don't put too much meaning into just one game or 2 games as Baguio connects, but you wonder if tinitingnan ni Coach Tim yung players and he's saying maybe to himself, baka nga, maybe this team is ready to make another serious title run again.
Oh, but usually when you are in a situation like this, lamang ka ng malaki, what you don't like is to build bad habits. Kaya nung nag-turnover doon yung Purefoods, tumayo agad si Coach Tim Con dahil ayaw na yung maging complacent yung kanya mga mandala.
Maliksi to Joe Vance, who's open. And then Joe picked up by Covington. Malyari to Justin Melton for 3. Azul to Rome De La Rosa. First time in the ball game. Over to Baguio. Shot knocked down to 15. De La Rosa against Malyari. Seeks out Meng, and now here's Covington, triple teamed. And the basket is good.
Basket counts from TJ Covington.
Finally, a basket here for Covington in the fourth quarter. His first 2 points here, and nice pass there by Eric Meng.
That was a cool move brought to you by Presto Coolant. Presto Coolant is always cool under pressure. Protects against overheating. Trusted by 8 out of 10 drivers. Rivas with the rebound. Purefoods looking for win number 2 here in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. Foul on the driving Alex Malyari. First personal on Rome De La Rosa. Of course, if you consider the context of Alaska, Joe DeVance goes right and drives and misses. But the tip in for Rafa Rivas, kung i-consider mo yung konteksto ng Alaska, where they're coming from. And you know this by experience, teams that are coming from the finals, whether you win the finals or you lose in the finals, it's so hard. You get into the next conference, probably still tired. Kung nanalo ka, they have over ka pa. Kung talo ka naman, heartbroken ka pa rin. But you know, you have to bounce back and play in a succeeding tournament.
Well, 2 things that are hounding Alaska. Number 1, yun ngang heartbreak. Dahil masakit yung kanilang pagkatalo at yung tournament format, napaka-ikli nung pahinga in between conferences. But the main reason really is they don't have enough artillery. The absence of Sanitos and the absence of JV Casio, it takes away the real Alaska dynamics on both ends of the floor. They're not the same offensive team, they're not the same defensive team. Kaya kung makikita natin, nung kinuha itong si Covington, ang mentality ng Alaska coaching staff dyan with a complete roster. Kaya hindi kailangan ng somebody who will just take over the offense, probably someone who can play defense, efficient enough on offense, and that is what Covington is. But the dynamics are totally different.
It's like JV's case, maybe he's not going to score 20, but he runs the team like no one else. Ganun yung laki ng tiwala sa kanya ni Coach Alex Compton.
And the absence of Sanitos naman, kulang sila ng isang defensive stopper in the post. So si Covington is kumbaga tasked to defend the best offensive player ng kanilang kalaban at hindi siya nakakapahinga. Dahil kung may import nga in an import-laden conference, they're actually expected to play both ways, offense and defense. Baka hindi pa sanay si Covington to take that specific role.
First free throw for Rafa Rivas. Alam mo, Coach, ang dami nagre-request. Sabi, pwede ba pakita ulit yung special skills coach ng Purefoods, si David Nurse? Yan, dami sa Twitter. Trending na ata eh. Yung iba akala nurse talaga. Gusto magpagamot. Ng broken heart. Ng broken heart. Sabi, ano daw?
Shooting doctor yan.
Wapin daw eh. May nagtanong pa, hindi ba namimiligro yung posisyon ni Coach Richard as free throw shooting coach? Never.
No.
That title was given to him for life.
Established na siya.
Oo.
Wala na. Sa tingin ko, 3-point shot yung expertise.
Ay, ito, palagay ko. Coach Charles Villet as Covington the next.
Covington is an efficient player at makikita naman natin umaakyat na yung kanyang scoring here in the fourth quarter. He likes going to his right. He's more comfortable finishing off with his right hand. Kanina nakashoot siya when he dropped his shoulder going to his left. But yung kanan niya, much of his points, really, his momentum is stronger when he goes to his right.
8 minutes remaining in the ball game. Rivas to Melton. Melton for 3. Yes, sir!
Pangalawang tira na yun. Melton pasok.
brought to you by PLDT Home Telpad, Landline plus Home DSL plus tablet.
Kanina kasi almost from the same spot. He missed that three-point shot but not on the second attempt.
Covington getting busy here in the fourth and final quarter.
But on the right block, and if it drops his left shoulder again with that nice jump hook, parang yun talaga yung pet move nitong si Covington.
He has a total of 19 points, most of it scored here in the fourth. Timeout for Alaska, the mga Purefoods by 20. Magbabalik po pa.
Come back here. Well, the winner in our second game between the Bolts and the Talk and Text will actually occupy the top of our leaderboard.
Shot clock down to 2. And Malyari will miss, but Rafa Rivas is there. And si Rafi, panay putback ang ginagawa dito ever since he entered the game.
4 points both on putbacks using his left hand. So, don't mamimiss si Sunny Tose because Sunny usually does a good job blocking off the other big men. But because of his absence, ang daming offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities nitong Purefoods.
And now Purefoods swinging that ball around as we reach the halfway, or near the halfway mark. The fourth and final quarter. 8 to shoot. Blakely so far with 15 points. The Aces get the ball. Covington intercepted by Quick Melt. But Melton lost the ball there. He was about to, parang itcha niya dapat din nabitawan niya right in front of the Alaska bench. So the ball will go back to the Aces.
Pero ang ganda ng anticipation din ni Melton. It was actually a 2-on-1 advantage for Alaska. He was able to foil that fast break attempt. Pero nag-turnover din siya. Pero pagdating naman dito sa screen Eric Meng, offensive foul. Again, these two players, the vital, two of the vital cogs para rito sa team ni Coach Alex Compton, not seeing action. At hindi lamang in tonight's game, eh mukhang matatagalan pa itong dalawang manlalaro.
So Alaska has to learn how to win without Casio and Sanitos. Calvin Abueva attacks, open court, Calvin, drop pass, Banchero connects. Will Alaska have enough time to climb back here under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth and final quarter? Because Blakely, as always, all over the place, contributing in so many ways. He drives and he goes to Rivas, and Rivas is fouled.
Foul number 30, Eric May.
Sobrang well-oiled itong offensive fluidity nitong Purefoods. They just know exactly the points of attack. Itong si Blakely, alam niya na foul trouble na itong si Covington at ina-atake niya. And when somebody helps out, he's always willing to make that extra pass.
Okay, Sel has this report. Sel?
Sabi ni Coach Alex Compton kay DJ Covington, these other guys are gonna pay attention to you. So it looks like in the remaining minutes of the fourth quarter, Alaska, aasa sila sa mga tira sa loob. Balik sa inyo.
Salamat, Sel. Banchero against Melton. Banchero over to Covington. Covington. Took a big hop there. And Malyari now has the ball. Covington is hurt. I think he hurt his back. Making that big hop step. You know, hindi niya madiretso yung likod niya.
From the looks of it, parang na-hyper-extend niya
Ayan, naramdaman
yung
na
kanyang
niya.
likod.
Not a good sign. You don't have JV, you don't have Sunny, and your import looks like he's hurt, but he will be walking okay. Maybe we'll alamin ni Sen yung condition ni Covington. Banchero. Baseline, reverse. 2 points.
Chris Banchero. Foul number 4, Ravi Rivas. Substitutions, make it easy for Ravi Rivas. Josh Vallandigham for Togo Motivans.
So Alex Compton digging dito sa kanyang roster rotation. Pinapasok na si Josh Van Landingham. At pinagpahinga itong si Don Ontiveros. Malayo pa itong hinahabol ng Alaska. They're still down by 18 points, and if they want to make a move, they still have 5 minutes left here in this ballgame.
Marcus Blakely. Baseline. Oh. Hijacked in midair. And he will take 2 free throws.
Now, number 15, Joshua Landingham.
Foul on Josh Van Landingham, and we'll take this timeout. Purefoods on top, 97-79. Baka nakatingin sa akin.
Hindi na po si Eric eh.
Bakit?
Buhok lang nakikita ko eh.
Mali ba sabi ko? Glowing and blooming Erica Padilla.
Okay.
Oh, sige. Kanina na parang nasaktan si Covington, di ba? When he took that hop step. Sel, how is Covington?
Wait, can I just say, kinikilig si Erica nung sinabi niyong glowing siya. But anyway, bad news is DJ Covington hurt his back. Sabi niya naninigas daw ang kanyang likod. Pero ang good news, wala naman daw muscle na hyperextend. So painkillers lang ang katapat nun. Balik sa
Okay,
inyo.
so that's it. So it's nothing serious.
Nothing serious.
serious.
Yes.
Oh, good news for Alaska fans. Dahil akala natin with the way he clutched his back, baka may hyperextension na nangyari ron eh. Pero
sabi,
okay lang.
Okay. 30-second timeout here with 4:37 remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Sabi ko sa iyo, alam mo, biglang sumikat yung ano eh. Okay, we'll check the schedule first. The Kia Carnival against the Beerman. The Tropa against the Bolts tomorrow here at the Big Dome. Parang sisikat bigla itong shooting coach ng Purefoods. Ano ulit pangalan? David Nurse? Tama ba? David Nurse. May nag-text pa sa akin ngayon.
Ano sabi?
Ang sabi, ako, total, pwede ba niya akong gamutin? Broken heart. Ayan, no? David Nurse is the name. Now a name. Soon a legend.
Grabe ang airtime nito ah.
Oo. Siguro pag pinakita natin yung Twitter nito, ako, dadami followers ito. Tanong nga ni Sel, ano ba Twitter name niyan si David Nurse? Nagtanong ba naman sa akin, no? Single ba yan? Hoy, Mia Kalim! Hinebra na team mo ngayon, ha? Ay, pinagit ko ba yung pangalan? Ay, sorry.
Konti lang naman tayo nakarinig.
Here's James Yap over to Mick Penisi for 3.
Mamamain na talaga ni Blakely yan.
Oh, no, it's Banchero on
Yes.
Blakely. Sam Eman secures the basketball. So it's Sam Eman. Wow. Talagang, it's not Alaska's night. You already have the ball and you lose it on the baseline.
But you have to give credit also to Blakely. He did not give up. He was there to bother that pass of Eman. He was able to complete it. Ang dali naman nun. It's an easy baseline drive there for James Yap, and the foul was called against Eman. Kulang pa yung pahinga. You just pretty much have a sense na itong Alaska is still a tired team here in their first game.
And you're looking at this, obviously, the way a coach would look at it. No? Alam mo you can tell.
Oh.
On the other hand, your Purefoods, you take advantage.
Oh, sila naman well-rested naman sila.
Exactly. Sam Eman against Big Penisi. Eman fires, blocked by Penisi. Ron De La Rosa with exhibiting great energy there. And he got a basket and he will have a bonus free throw.
He's just taking advantage of the minutes that Alex Compton gave him, itong si Ron De La Rosa. Dahil nga kulang-kulang itong manlalaro ng Alaska. And hindi naman niya pinapahiya yung tiwala ng kanyang coach.
Three and a half remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Blakely to Malyari. Shot clock down to 10. Nestor Alvarez making his first appearance tonight. Kasama niya si James, Alex Malyari, Penisi, and Blakely. Blakely actually still in the game here with Purefoods comfortably ahead. May foul dapat kay Josh Van Landingham. So
James, have a better scoring night here for Big Game James. He had a total of 9 points when they played against Global Port, but so far already 16 for this guy.
Long faces on that Alaska bench. You can imagine how tough practice will be tomorrow. Three minutes left in the fourth and final quarter. James Yap to Big Penisi. James against Van Landingham. Trying to go for a lob pass for Blakely, but then Purefoods gets the ball back. Lester Alvarez from the corner. Three-point shot brought to you by PLDT Home Telpad, Landline plus Home DSL plus tablet.
It's going to be a huge confidence booster for Alvarez getting the minutes now because the outcome is pretty much settled. Kaya binibigyan siya ng oras. At ito, naghihiyawan ng mga tao, lalong-lalo na ang mga Gako-natics. Dahil ready na pumasok si Gako.
If you're at home, hold on to something. Because everything is going to bedlam the minute Jerwin Gako enters the game. And what a game for Alex Malyari. Second time, he has hit a three-point shot off the glass.
Telling you.
Second time.
And second time, he calls it.
No, he did not.
Ay, di pa rin.
Walang gumagawa nun. I don't care what you say, it is still a chamba especial. But he has played well tonight, without a shadow of a doubt. And to commemorate the entry of Gako, we will have a timeout.
They will give him the ball.
Back in a moment. Back in a moment. And the thunderous cheer that you hear on your TV screen is not for Malyari, although he is our best player of the game. Excellent game.
Oh, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 3-point shots, both bank shots.
3 points.
Diba?
Yeah.
So well-deserved.
Well-deserved, certainly, certainly. Started the game, set the tone, certainly contributed heavily in this imminent Purefoods win. Lester Alvarez, raced by Sam Eman. Don Aliano getting to see action here with Penisi, Alvarez, Malyari, and Jerwin Gako. 1 minute and 19 remaining before Purefoods gets their second victory on the Covish Cup. De La Rosa to Banchero. Shot clock down to 10. Banchero, double team. Van Landingham from the corner. Yes, sir. That's a three.
Very good for a spacer. He can really make those shots from deep corner. At to see Josh Van Landingham first 3 points here in this ballgame.
Mr. Alvarez. Don Aliado gets the ball. Aliado handoff. Alvarez hounded by Vic Manuel. Here's Malyari. Shot clock down to 4. Jerwin Gako with a shot clock winding down. I can't believe a flagrant foul was not called on Banchero for reaching in.
Parang nagugulat kasi yung si Gako nagkakagulo. Paghawak niya yung bola
Tremendous pressure to score with 37.5 seconds left.
We'll see if his team will design the play to get him open. Parang last shot.
Para last shot. 1 second. 1 second. Shot clock.
Tignan natin.
Now our referee Edward the Skyscraper Aquino checking the replay kung sino ang last touch. Here's that play. And Banchero, he bludgeoned Jerwin Gako on that play. And here's Malyari at the buzzer.
Used the board again.
Pero side of the board. Okay. Impressions here. You look at Purefoods' performance tonight, Coach Ryan. What do you think? I mean, is this team ready to, be title contenders again?
Well, I think so. Nakapahinga na sila. Very fluid yung kanilang execution on offense and yung usual tenacity nila on the defensive end. Very obvious also. And not only that, the local players are contributing. This is really decision-making time for Coach Tim Cone dahil Daniel Orton, the original choice, is already in town. But are you gonna give Blakely that rest after giving his team a 2-0 start? So for Purefoods, maganda-gandang usapan.
Coach Tim Cone and the rest of the Purefoods Star Hotshots winning over the Alaska Aces 108-88. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat. For Sel Guevara, my partner Coach Ryan Gregorio, I'm Miguel Lili saying goodnight. I hope to see you again tomorrow dito sa PBA sa TV5.